with a major event that our country knows about, but it affected you directly. Did our mic go up? There we go.
Yeah.
What was that event?
Born and raised in New Orleans. I faced an obstacle in my life, which was Hurricane Katrina. When I was in 10th grade, I was 10th grade in high school. That storm came and kind of changed my life. It kind of, separated my family. My mom, she moved to Mississippi. My dad moved to Texas. I had to, adapt in my circumstances and live in a hotel for 5 months and kind of overcome and grow up fast. Honestly, you never know what you're gonna face in life in terms of obstacles, in terms of something that can be, overwhelming for yourself and for your family. But you have to make a decision for yourself. Am I gonna live in my circumstances? Am I going to allow this to defeat me, or am I going to overcome it?
Now here at Hurricane Katrina, we were affected by it. You were directly affected. Here you moved to a different state with your dad. But in that journey, we talked, and you mentioned there were some important people in your life, though, to help you kind of make your transition to move forward. And who were they?
Well, most definitely, my father especially. Fortunately for me, he always pushed me. He never let me accept, being good enough. He never let me accept, being average or being mediocre. And he always told me to never feel like you're in a good place. Always work, always achieve, always want more in terms of your aspirations. And even to this day, as I'm in the NFL, he always tells me, like, you haven't made it. And it's, coming, y'all hearing me, y'all might think, oh, he hasn't made it, he's in the NFL, he's definitely made it, but for where I want to reach in my life and the goals I have for myself, he always told me, one bigger, if your dreams should always supersede anybody else's dreams for you because of your dreams, and that's what I'll tell somebody, never let somebody else determine what you're going to do in life.
So now 10th grade, you're in Dallas, here you have this incredible father that's motivating you, but you had to do the work. What kind of student were you, and how did you move on to the next level to get a Division I college?
When it comes to being a student, especially in class, I never really enjoyed school, but it's not really about what you want to enjoy. I feel like when it comes to reaching your goals, every day when I work out, I don't want to work out, but in order to be the player I want to be, in order to be great, I know I have to do things that I'm not always going to want to do. And I think that's what separates, average players from good players and good players from great players, is when you're faced against something that you want to do, are you going to do it? Because, every day your parents not going to go to work. Every day your parents ain't going to want to go to your soccer game or your football game, but they know that in order for you to eat, in order for you to feel a certain type of love, they're going to do things that they're not always going to want to do. And I feel like that's what made me the player I am today. I never quit. I never quit. I never, sat there and said, what, I don't want to do it, because I know if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
So you end up you earned a scholarship to play at what university?
At the University of Wisconsin.
And there you studied what?
Communications.
Communications, and you earned your degree, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you are now in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
These beautiful young people out here that's aspiring to be like you, what is it that you do on a day-to-day basis that helps you keep your edge?
You know what? I just always tell myself, every day, push yourself to the point where they always say, when you're good enough, you tell somebody else. When they're great, they tell you. So I always wanted to be great. So I always told myself, I want to make other people recognize my talents. I want to make other people say, okay, that guy right there, he might not have talent, but he's going to work. Or that guy right there, he might not always do it right, but he's going to work. And I feel like if you always work and you always push yourself to the limit, then there's nothing that you can't do.
So young people, you hear this now. You hear this incredible athlete, student, dealt with adversity, has been able to forge a life. And this life, he's developed some characteristics about not giving up, never giving in, but also being academic. Now, for them, look out in that audience, and what you told me something backstage I told you I'm going to probably use about control.
Right.
What was that? Well, tell them and give them your inspiring words.
Always, the one thing I live by to this day is control the controllables. There's, you know, I mean, when in life itself, there's only so many things you can control. You know, you can't control the weather. You can't control if somebody likes you. You can't control if the coach plays you this much or this much. But there's two things in life that I know you can surely control, and that's your attitude and that's your work ethic. And I always told myself, nobody's gonna outwork me. I always told myself I'm gonna have a positive attitude, because if I keep those two things right, then I know positive results will come.
Now, did y'all, wait, you can give me some applause with that. That's powerful. Just don't be afraid. Look, family, I want us to go through this process today in this interview. I want you to feel close to these guys. And I want them to feel your energy. So when they say something that resonates with you, clap. You know, let them know. Let them know that you feel what he's saying. So Marcus, just in winding it down, now you say control the controllables. Now, you dream big, you work hard. What's next for you? What's next for you on the horizon?
You know what? That's the funny thing. My goals are tangible, but at the same time, I always told myself, don't limit yourself, don't limit your goals. You know, I mean, obviously, I want to be a starter. I want to get this many interceptions, but a 10 interceptions shouldn't limit me from getting 12. So, you know what I mean? Being a starter shouldn't limit me from being a Pro Bowler. And I always told myself, don't make your goals tangible, but just supersede everything that you set for yourself. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to control the controllables, because I can't control how many reps I get in practice. I can't control if the quarterback throws the ball my way, but I can control how hard I run to the ball. I can control how much time I put in my playbook. I can control, you know what I mean, how I respond to the coaches. And I feel like if I do all those things, if I do the things that require no talent, you know what I mean, do the things that require no talent, and I'm sure the good results will come.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's give Mr. Marcus Cromartie a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And he'll be back at the end on the panel with all the great guests who will be coming out. Next,